Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered what really happens behind the scenes in marriages where infidelity occurs? We often hear about infidelity in the media, but what is the true face of this betrayal, and how does it impact the individuals involved? What causes a person to step outside of their marriage, and how can couples navigate the emotional turmoil that follows? In today's video, we are diving deep into the unspoken realities of infidelity in marriage. We'll look beyond the surface-level judgment and explore the complex emotional, psychological, and relational factors that contribute to infidelity. Whether it's emotional or physical, the consequences of infidelity are far-reaching, and understanding the reasons behind it can help both partners find a path to healing, reconciliation, or resolution. Let's ask ourselves, what causes infidelity in marriage? What are the underlying factors that contribute to this betrayal, and what can couples do to rebuild trust and intimacy after it happens? The hidden causes of infidelity more than just a betrayal of trust. When we think of infidelity, we often focus on the act itself, the betrayal of trust, the breaking of vows, and the pain caused by the affair. However, the causes of infidelity are often far more complex than a mere lapse in judgment or momentary weakness. Infidelity doesn't happen in a vacuum, and there are typically multiple factors that led to someone stepping outside of their marriage. In many cases, emotional dissatisfaction is a key contributor. Over time, couples can grow apart, particularly if they stop nurturing their emotional connection. The pressures of life, such as work stress, parenting responsibilities, or financial struggles, can cause one or both partners to feel neglected, lonely, or disconnected. When these emotional needs are unmet, one partner may seek attention, affection, or validation elsewhere, often without initially intending to cross the line. Another common factor is lack of intimacy. Physical and emotional intimacy are both essential to a thriving marriage. If intimacy is lacking, whether due to physical, emotional, or psychological barriers, one or both partners may begin to feel unfulfilled. This can make the idea of an affair seem appealing, as it promises the connection and excitement that might be missing at home. However, it's important to recognize that infidelity is rarely the result of just one issue. It often involves a combination of unmet needs, poor communication, and emotional neglect. Couples who fail to address these underlying issues may find themselves vulnerable to the temptation of infidelity. This doesn't justify the betrayal, but understanding these factors can help partners work through the challenges that led to the affair. The psychological impact of infidelity on the betrayed partner. Infidelity has an undeniable psychological impact, especially on the betrayed partner. The sense of betrayal is often devastating, shaking the foundation of trust and security that the couple once built together. The emotional toll can vary depending on the circumstances of the affair and the individuals involved, but for many, it leads to deep feelings of hurt, anger, rejection, and confusion. One of the most common reactions to infidelity is a profound loss of trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, and when it is broken, it can be incredibly difficult to rebuild. The betrayed partner may struggle with feelings of inadequacy, wondering why they weren't enough for their spouse or questioning their own self-worth. Infidelity can also cause feelings of jealousy. Even after the affair is over, the betrayed partner may find themselves constantly comparing themselves to the person their spouse had the affair with. This comparison can lead to insecurities, self-doubt, and a distorted sense of self-image. It can also cause the betrayed partner to experience hypervigilance, where they become overly cautious, questioning their spouse's actions or seeking reassurance that the affair is truly over. Beyond the individual emotional impact, infidelity can also strain relationships with others. Friends and family who are aware of the affair may react differently, either offering support or distancing themselves. The sense of public embarrassment or shame can further isolate the betrayed partner, making them feel more alone in their pain. The emotional consequences for the partner who committed infidelity. While the focus often remains on the betrayed partner, the one who committed infidelity also experiences significant emotional consequences. Many individuals who cheat do so out of a sense of guilt and self-loathing, knowing that they've violated their partner's trust. After the affair, they may experience feelings of remorse, regret, and shame, particularly if they truly care about their spouse and feel torn by their actions. In some cases, the person who cheated may also feel a sense of emptiness or confusion. They might have initially turned to someone else to fill an emotional void, but after the affair is over, they may feel disconnected or dissatisfied with their own actions. The guilt of betraying their spouse can weigh heavily on them, especially if they struggle to understand why they acted the way they did. Moreover, committing infidelity can create a crisis of identity. The person who cheated might wonder what led them to make such a choice, questioning their values, their commitment to the marriage, and their overall character. They may feel torn between their desire to reconcile with their spouse and the fear of facing the consequences of their actions. This internal conflict can create a sense of emotional turmoil, as they must reconcile their actions with their sense of morality. Rebuilding trust, the long road to healing. Rebuilding trust after infidelity is a long and challenging process, but it is not impossible. Healing requires commitment, honesty, and the willingness to be vulnerable on both sides. The first step toward rebuilding trust is acknowledging the betrayal. The partner who committed infidelity must take full responsibility for their actions, without blaming the betrayed partner or offering excuses. This accountability is crucial for rebuilding the emotional foundation of the relationship. The betrayed partner, in turn, must allow themselves to grieve and process the pain. Trust is not something that can be restored overnight. It takes time, patience, and consistent actions from both partners. Open communication is key during this phase. Both partners need to talk honestly about their feelings, needs, and expectations moving forward. Rebuilding trust also involves establishing boundaries and transparency. The partner who committed infidelity must be willing to answer questions and provide reassurance, especially in the early stages of healing. This transparency helps create a sense of security and demonstrates that they are committed to rebuilding trust. It's also important for both partners to acknowledge that healing is not linear. There will be setbacks, emotional triggers, and difficult conversations. However, with continued effort and a genuine desire to work through the pain, trust can eventually be restored. Moving forward, can the relationship survive? One of the most common questions that couples ask after infidelity is whether their relationship can survive. The truth is that every couple's journey is different. Some couples are able to heal and emerge stronger from the experience, while others may find that their marriage is no longer fulfilling or sustainable. For couples who decide to work through infidelity, it's important to set new goals for the relationship. This might involve working on communication, addressing unmet emotional needs, or even seeking therapy to explore the deeper issues that led to the affair. Couples who are willing to commit to this process of rebuilding and growth have a better chance of creating a stronger bond. In some cases, however, infidelity may highlight deeper issues in the relationship that cannot be easily resolved. For these couples, it may be necessary to reconsider the future of the marriage. If both partners are unable or unwilling to work through the pain and rebuild trust, it might be healthier for both to separate and move forward individually. Ultimately, the decision to stay or leave after infidelity is a deeply personal one. It requires a great deal of introspection, open dialogue, and a clear understanding of the needs and desires of both individuals. The long-term effects of infidelity, how it can alter both partners' perspectives. While the immediate effects of infidelity are often intense and overwhelming, the long-term impact can be just as profound. Both the betrayed partner and the one who committed infidelity can undergo lasting emotional changes that affect their view of themselves, their marriage, and future relationships. For the betrayed partner, the effects of infidelity often extend beyond the initial heartbreak. The violation of trust can leave scars that take years to heal. Many individuals who have experienced infidelity develop a heightened sense of vigilance in future relationships, even if they choose to forgive their partner. They may question the motives of others, suspecting that betrayal could happen again, and as a result, they may find it difficult to trust wholeheartedly. This newfound caution often leads to changes in how they view themselves. The betrayed partner might experience self-doubt, wondering if they somehow contributed to the betrayal or questioning their worth. In some cases, this can lead to a sense of insecurity, affecting not only the marriage but also their personal confidence and outlook on life. On the other hand, the partner who committed the infidelity often experiences a shift in how they view their own actions. While they may feel deep remorse and guilt, some might also face identity crises, struggling to reconcile their actions with their core values. This internal conflict can sometimes lead to depression, shame, or a sense of loss of self-worth. The guilt may persist for years, impacting their ability to fully engage in the relationship even if they are committed to rebuilding it. This prolonged emotional distress can affect their overall happiness and sense of well-being. In many cases, both partners must go through a process of self-discovery, recognizing how their behavior has shaped the marriage and how they can grow from the experience. This process often involves both individual therapy and couples counseling, as understanding the long-term emotional consequences is crucial for rebuilding a stable foundation for the future. Coping with the emotional roller coaster: how to manage pain and regain emotional stability. After the discovery of infidelity, both partners often experience an emotional roller coaster. For the betrayed partner, the immediate aftermath can be overwhelming, with waves of anger, grief, disbelief, and betrayal taking center stage. These emotions can feel all-consuming, and it's normal for the betrayed partner to experience uppers and downers in how they perceive their relationship and future. In this emotional turbulence, it's essential to allow oneself time to grieve. Infidelity is a deep emotional wound, and it's important for the betrayed partner to acknowledge their pain without rushing to move on or forgive prematurely. The grieving process can help the individual come to terms with what has happened, identify their emotional needs, and begin to heal. For the partner who committed the infidelity, the emotional burden can also be immense. They may feel guilt and shame for betraying their spouse, and these feelings can sometimes prevent them from fully engaging in the healing process. To cope with this, it's important for them to face their actions head-on, rather than avoiding the emotional consequences of their choices. They must be willing to show vulnerability, acknowledge their mistakes, and demonstrate a genuine desire to rebuild trust. Throughout this roller coaster of emotions, both partners need to practice self-care. This can include seeking individual therapy, spending time on activities that promote mental and emotional well-being, and engaging in positive coping mechanisms such as journaling, meditation, or physical exercise. Having a strong support system in place is also crucial, as the pain of infidelity can feel isolating. Understanding the importance of boundaries in rebuilding a marriage after infidelity. When a marriage has experienced infidelity, one of the most important steps in the healing process is to establish healthy boundaries. Boundaries help create emotional safety for both partners and set clear guidelines for what is and isn't acceptable in the relationship moving forward. For the betrayed partner, boundaries might include creating space to process their feelings, ensuring that they are heard and respected without judgment. This might also involve requests for transparency from the partner who committed the infidelity, such as sharing details about the affair or being open about any ongoing communication with the person involved. These boundaries are not meant to punish the offending partner, but to protect the emotional integrity of the relationship while trust is being rebuilt. For the partner who committed the infidelity, establishing boundaries also means accepting responsibility for their actions and making clear commitments to change. They must be willing to respect their spouse's emotional needs and support their healing journey. This might involve adhering to certain behavioral commitments, such as being more open, showing more affection, or making more time for quality interaction. At the same time, both partners must recognize that boundaries must evolve as healing progresses. Over time, boundaries should gradually shift toward greater trust and mutual respect, but they should remain in place as long as necessary to maintain emotional security and foster growth. The role of forgiveness. Can trust ever be fully restored? One of the most difficult aspects of overcoming infidelity is the question of forgiveness. Can the betrayed partner ever truly forgive the person who cheated, and can trust ever be fully restored? The process of forgiveness is deeply personal and unique to each couple. However, it is essential to recognize that forgiveness is not a one-time event. It is a gradual process that takes time and requires both emotional effort and vulnerability. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing the betrayal. Rather, it involves letting go of anger, resentment, and blame, and choosing to move forward, either in the relationship or separately. Forgiving an unfaithful partner does not absolve them of responsibility, but it can provide emotional freedom for the betrayed partner, allowing them to heal and release the toxic emotions that come with holding on to resentment. For the partner who committed the infidelity, seeking forgiveness involves showing remorse, accepting accountability, and taking concrete steps to demonstrate their commitment to change. It's essential for them to acknowledge the deep emotional pain their actions have caused, and to make a genuine effort to regain their partner's trust. While trust can be rebuilt over time, it is often never exactly the same as it was before the betrayal. The journey to trust is long, and while it can be restored, it requires both partners to be fully invested in the process. Rebuilding the relationship, strengthening the foundation for shared goals. As couples move through the pain and begin the healing process, it's important to rebuild the foundation of the marriage on a new, stronger platform. Infidelity can be a wake-up call, forcing couples to confront deep issues and make changes to how they relate to each other. In some cases, this can create a renewed sense of purpose and commitment to the relationship. Rebuilding the relationship involves creating shared goals and working together to make the marriage stronger. This might involve setting new emotional, physical, or financial goals as a couple. It might also mean redefining the relationship in a way that acknowledges both partners' needs and desires, while respecting the lessons learned from the betrayal. During this phase, couples often seek professional help, such as couples counseling, to help them navigate difficult emotions and find healthier ways to communicate. Therapy can provide a safe space to process feelings, set boundaries, and learn new coping strategies for handling conflict. Additionally, couples may need to make a conscious effort to reignite intimacy, both emotional and physical. Infidelity often leads to a breakdown in intimacy, and rebuilding it takes time. Couples can reconnect through small, everyday acts of kindness, affection, and shared experiences. These efforts help re-establish the emotional connection that has been damaged and provide a sense of closeness and trust. Moving forward, can the relationship be saved? Ultimately, whether the relationship can be saved after infidelity depends on the willingness of both partners to commit to the healing process. Couples who are willing to work through their pain, build a stronger connection, and address the underlying issues that led to the affair, have a better chance of rebuilding their marriage. However, it's important to acknowledge that not every marriage can or should be saved. In some cases, the pain of infidelity is too great, or the emotional damage too profound, to continue in the relationship. Separation or divorce may be the healthiest option for both individuals, particularly if trust cannot be restored, or if the relationship is no longer fulfilling for both parties. The decision to stay or leave is deeply personal, and it requires careful thought, reflection, and in many cases, professional guidance. Whether you choose to continue the relationship or part ways, it's important to prioritize healing and personal growth. Both partners need to focus on their own emotional well-being and make decisions that support their mental health, happiness, and future. Conclusion. Thank you for watching today's video. If you've experienced the pain of infidelity or are currently navigating the complexities of healing, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, rebuilding after infidelity takes time, effort, and commitment, but it's possible for many couples to heal and come out stronger on the other side. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more insightful content that helps you navigate life's toughest challenges. See you in the next video.